Roll up. All right, hello, welcome today. Today we're going to discuss, editing, like 3 easy steps of editing your book. We discussed writing yesterday, I think it was. Anyways, we discussed writing.
Yeah, we're mostly just gonna talk about books.
Yeah, and what we discussed with writing is that, you should just pour out your content onto paper. What do you recommend for whenever people are just like pouring out their story? That they type it or that they
I like to use a notebook and a pen because there's less distractions involved. Like if you're typing it, that means your screen's open and notifications can pop up and the internet is really easy to access. And
I never thought of it for the distraction reason.
if you sit down with a notebook and a pen, then you have no choice but to confront that blank page, and write at it until it's no longer blank.
Okay, well, see, my thing has always been whenever you're writing it out on paper, there's the brain hand process of putting things out is what I was thinking of. I actually never thought of the distractions thing with the word process, because it's different. My take's always been different, like when you're typing than whenever you're actually writing things.
Well, whenever you have the hand connection whenever you're writing like this, it doesn't allow for distractions. But whenever you're typing, it's so easy that your brain's doing other stuff already. Like,
yes,
you're saying, I wonder what it's going on in social media, blah 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 blah.
So you're saying just simply being on a computer or device or whatever is like a distraction all on its own.
Yeah, it's open. It's immediately open for distractions.
Wow, that's a really good way to put it. I never thought of that. Wow, you're brilliant. Okay, so I actually that wasn't what I thought, but that's why I'm glad I asked. Okay, so because we've talked about this before, but I didn't think of it in those terms. I always just think of the hand-eye thing and the brain hand, whatever.
Well, yeah, if you're,
I'm obviously lacking today.
yeah, since you're holding a pencil.
I'm holding a pencil. And
well, it's like whenever you're using your hand like this, you have to think more about it. So
yeah, well, it's sort of like what I like about writing on actual paper with an actual pencil or pen is it's like just like flows out of your brain a little more flowy.
Yeah,
it's
organic.
Yeah, organically, that's a good word. Like it alone is less distracting because you're using, okay, you don't want to like, I don't know. Okay, so whenever I'm typing, I type really fast. And I hit the delete key probably more than I hit any other key on the keyboard.
I was just
because I'm just like,
I was just about to say that's another thing about typing is you're like getting autocorrect jumping on you, and your words like, hey, that sentence sucks. and you're like delete. There's a red line, and then you're like take.
Yeah. Well, and so I think that whenever I'm writing, I like to write things out by hand. It makes me slow down.
Yeah.
Is actually
and
like
if you spell stuff wrong, nobody cares.
Well, yeah, there's
third
that
grade
too.
teacher.
The third grade teacher in the back of your head saying, hey, that's an I, not an E, or whatever.
I before E except after C.
Yeah, those things. Okay, so all right, from a lot of different standpoints, we do recommend that you write out by hand. Yeah. And yes, whenever you're writing an entire novel, your arm's gonna get, your hand's gonna get tired if you're writing out an entire novel.
A little bit,
but it's it's good exercise.
Oh, for sure.
And I think it's better brain exercise too. I think it's healthier to do it that way.
Yeah.
You process things better.
You get more into the novel. You get more out of writing the novel.
Yeah. And then if you want to add something, you can actually you can probably kind of little arrows, and you can be like, hey, blah 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 blah. You can put your own little stupid annotations.
And if you don't feel like writing a part, you can just doodle it.
Yeah, there's that too. Yes, I've seen some of your stuff where it's more like pictographs, rather than words. And you can't do that whenever you're typing out on a word processor or whatever.
And Elsa's stuff too is like,
sometimes
like a comic strip,
Yeah, especially Elsa's stuff. whenever she's writing, it's, yeah. it
Or
tends to
it'll be like-
much more
Or
pictures.
it'll be like, character says something, and then magnificent illustration.
Yeah, and also while you come up with art designs too sometimes when you're writing. Yeah. Okay, so, all right, that's a good idea for writing. So editing. This one of the steps in the editing
Okay.
touches on that. So, I mean, the first, okay, obviously you're typing it out, you've written it out by hand. And then you go and you're typing it out on the computer. And so while you're typing it out, I mean, you're gonna see mistakes and you're gonna notice stuff, and then
You're
you're
gonna be like, what is that word?
yeah.
Somebody else, can you help me? Somebody messed with my handwriting.
Yeah, there's that too. But oh, and also one of the things that one of the authors that we work with that he mentioned was, if you need to, like whenever you have stuff written out on paper, you can actually take stuff and rearrange it if you want, by like literally like, you know, taking the page and like
Oh,
just
yeah.
moving it over here, and then you'd be like, you know what, I want this over here,
And if you don't like something you wrote, you can just literally rip out a page
and throw it away.
or save it in your scrapbook if you want.
So that's one of the ways you can do is, whenever you've got it all written out on paper, you can do your arranging and, you know, take things back and forth and scribble things out. And so it's a little more, I think it's a more natural process, and I think it's healthier, and I think you actually end up with a better piece of work whenever you're doing it that way. So you've got your big pile of pages, and they're a big mess, and they're beautiful. They're absolutely this gorgeous mess.
Especially if you use a different colored pen every day.
Oh, yes, rainbow, yes, that's beautiful. Okay, so we've typed out, now we have typed out our entire story in Word or whatever you use, pages, or, you know. Yeah, those of us that love pages. So you typed out your story now. You took your jumbled mess from the paper and you've got it all typed out.
On
And
pages?
on pages. Okay, thank you. And so now you've got it's to where it's in order, to where you've got a decent thing going, a flow going with your characters, your storyline. You've added things you wanted to add, and all your ideas are all there. Okay, so this is what you want to do. First of all, you want to take this, at this point, no more adding or changing. That's what you have to get in your mind. Like, this is the final story. This is where I want this story to be. We're not changing anything drastically. We fix plot holes, we do things like that, but we do not go through and make major changes to where we end up writing another 45,000 words. Okay, no,
I do that all the time though.
I know, and I tell you not to.
That's how I write.
Okay. Don't mess with my little thing here. Okay, I'm trying to help people here to
Yeah.
have a nice streamlined thing, and you're throwing in this craziness.
But you don't have to
Chaos.
follow all the rules.
No, you don't have to follow all the rules. There are no rules. But
Except you have to follow this process.
well, I'm not saying you have to follow this process either. I'm just saying this is an
Yeah.
easy process
Mhm.
to follow that'll help
It
you.
is.
Rather,
And if you end up adding that extra 45,000 words, then it takes you right back to page 1. And sometimes you dump coffee on your computer and you have to rewrite the whole thing by hand again.
yes, whenever you dump coffee on your laptop, just don't do that. So don't
Yeah,
recommend it.
just stick to the, don't
They don't-
add 45,000 words.
They don't like it.
No, they
Laptops just, I don't know why you think, I mean, like everybody loves coffee,
Yeah,
right?
really.
Laptops don't.
They kind of shut down permanently. And like, it doesn't matter if you made them a latte or
Actually, I think, if it's like a latte, I think it's actually worse because there's like the sugar in them and stuff like that.
yeah, I made my computer a latte.
Yeah, it doesn't work anymore.
Didn't appreciate it.
It's amazing. Okay, so.
No one speak to me.
All right, so we're gonna try to stay a little bit on track today. Okay, so whatever, we're not. All right, so the first step, okay, you've got your story, it's ready. You're like, okay, this is an awesome story. And you're like to the point where you could literally take it and send it. You could go and hire an editor and say, here, edit and proofread this, and then you can send it off to whoever or self-publish it or whatever it is you're doing. Okay, so this is the step, this is where we're at with it. We're done with the writing process. I mean, I'm sure, I guess we're gonna go back to some writing process because there's more processes than what I realized. I mean, you and your craziness, but
I'll just keep my craziness.
all right. So here we are. We have piled our story into this wonderful Word document or Pages file.
Or Scrivener, or whatever you like to use.
Yeah, whatever it is.
There are other stuff. If you want to use text edit, I mean,
Yeah, or
have fun.
I don't even know what other. Okay, we're Mac people, so I don't know what other, whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
There's other programs out
Use
there.
your writing program, type out your voice.
Whatever your word processor looks like. You've got this story. It's a novel. It is so many words. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take this word processor. You're going to take it, whatever you're using, and you're just going to run through, from start to finish.
Don't worry about the word count. Just said it'll be so many words. Don't worry how many so many is.
Yeah, that's why I said so many.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't worry about word count.
Yeah.
No, we're not worried about
Ever.
word count either. We have our guidelines,
Okay.
just like we have with grammar and everything like that. We have our guidelines. We follow some guidelines.
Yeah.
Bending the rules is okay. That's all right.
So you run through.
So now we're rewind. We're running through with our word processor. And we're gonna go through with our spell check, and if you, you can go through and look at the other video for these steps too. They're probably a little more coherent because I was trying to make them all da 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 da. So that's also
And
on
she
our
didn't have as
channel,
much help.
and I didn't have as much help. So anyways, run it through and do your spell check and your grammar check, and it basically helps you make sure there's no extra periods or random like letters and stuff and all your whatever the heck.
Unless it's an invisible typo.
Or we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Wait. Just let me finish this
Okay,
one thing.
sorry, I'm getting ahead of the story.
Yes, you are. You're always getting ahead. Hold on. Hold that thought.
I like action.
Yes.
Fast-paced story.
So,
Go on.
all right. So we're going through and we're checking and making sure that all of our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. That's basically all you're doing. You're doing a basic run through with your, the technical stuff that the computer is going to pick up. Period. You run through from beginning to end, and you just leave it at that. Okay. You fix all the changes. You go through each change one at a time, because the computer is not perfect. The
And
computer
save your
program is
document
not.
every 5 minutes. at
And
least.
save it every 5 minutes. Oh my goodness, yes.
You're going through one by one. Stop and save it.
Yes.
Stop and save it.
Don't trust
and save it.
autosave either. Don't trust autosave. I mean, you can't.
If you have it auto saving every 30 seconds, it's still better to
And
manually
you're
save
still
it.
better to manually save it after you've made a lot of changes, because there's nothing like going, I don't care who you are. I mean, you go through, you're like, 30,000 words, and all of a sudden everything crashes. Or like the power goes off. Or like your neighbor like smacked into something and the power goes off. I mean, holy crap. That's I didn't want to go there. So it's just like, there was so many trimming trees the one day outside the thing, and like all of a sudden all the power went off. And I'm like, no. I was so pissed. Anyways. So you want to make sure that you save your stuff and do not trust the electronic device to save, please.
Another reason I like paper right now on paper.
Yes, that doesn't happen. It's like even if the power goes out,
Unless,
or even if the internet goes out. Or,
Unless it's spontaneously
Whatever.
combusts, it's pretty much good.
yeah.
Like even if you spill some coffee on it and stuff, like
Yeah,
it's
you're
still
right.
mostly readable.
That's a good point. Even if you spill coffee on your paper, you still have the paper. And it doesn't completely wash away. Unless you use those
Water based.
that one kind of pen. Yeah.
So
those are
if you use like a
gel pens.
Yeah.
Gel pens actually wash away.
Okay, so don't use a gel pen, and then your paper draft is good.
Yeah. You can still read it though sometimes. It's just a little, like, looks like watercolor.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
All right, so we're getting off track again. All right, so we're running through and you're saving like every 30 seconds or every time we make any major changes because we don't want to lose this draft.
Then we reach.
And then we reach the end. And now what do we do? Oh, now what we do,
Party back goes there.
no. You can do some, Twitter party, like, woohoo, I just ran through my first draft one time, yay me. I mean, you can, do a little shout out.
I just see so many writers doing that.
Yes, you know what, it's an accomplishment, it really is.
Yes.
Especially, like I said, with all the, the things going off, or, you had trouble or whatever. So yeah, it's an excuse to celebrate for a minute. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this draft and we're going to print it. Whether you print it yourself or you take it to like, Office Max, or you take it, I don't know, Office Depot, I don't even know what the hell.
The library?
Places, library, wherever it is, you take it, print it out, just print it. Okay, it is sometimes, expensive to print it out, but it is
Especially
so.
if you added that 40,000 words.
Yeah, whenever you were changing one sentence and you decided to add 45,000 words, well, guess what?
Now it's more expensive.
More expensive to print. Sorry, but you can also take this and save the receipt from it if it is a major expense for you. You can. It's a write-off. It's a tax write-off too. I'm just gonna toss that out there. So, yeah, not a tax advisor or anything like that, but it is a write-off. So now we're going to, we have our printed copy, we have printed it, we have, gone through whatever process it took to print this. And we've printed our draft after it has been edited through Word or your word processor system, program, app, whatever the heck you want to call it. Please don't wait forever. Like, we hate Grammarly, yeah. Okay, so you should have a stack like this big of your novel. So now what you're going to do, and this is fun, this can be really fun, but you're going to sit down and you're going to take yourself a highlighter, get yourself a highlighter. You can use different color highlighters, you can do whatever you want, or you can take like, fun different colored pens, make this fun as possible.
Highlighters and sticky notes in corresponding colors.
Okay, if you want to be all organized about it, be all organized about it. Whatever.
Craziness, get back.
So, take and you're going to have to stop right now. Thank you. So you're going to take your highlighters and you're going to read through your manuscript and mark stuff. I like to use highlighters, and sometimes I use a little pen. I make little notes, and I make little smiley faces and scribbles, and be like, what was I thinking? There's a lot of, WTF question mark exclamation points insert, in my own stuff anyways. Rarely in client stuff. Usually it's like, did you mean to write this?
Mine was in pink, I remember receiving this lovely pink manuscript from my mother, and just it made me feel very honored to have scribbles in it that were like, never use the word berry again.
Okay, there's that.
With a smiley face.
There was like 45,000 berries.
It was very nice.
This was a long time ago too, so she was still learning too.
Yeah,
so,
it was part of my schoolwork.
Yeah, almost. Not quite. I mean, you
No, I was-
graduated, but
I was only just graduated.
Yeah.
Barely counted.
Okay, so anyways, she was learning. But yeah, there was a lot of the word berry. And semicolons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Berry and semicolons. We got rid of all those. And then it was easy.
Yeah, then it was good.
Yeah.
Until I put it in the wrong file.
Yeah. Okay, so then you're gonna go through and you're gonna just write all over it and scribble on it, make highlights and notes, and just go through and have fun with it. And then you're going to go and fix it on your file. And yes, this is work. But it doesn't, like, make it fun, enjoy it, enjoy doing it, have fun with it, I don't know
It's
how else
fun.
to say it. But then, after you've made all these other changes, so that was step 2. So now you have made, those changes. And now this one is actually, this can be even more fun, because you can do this like with a group of people, you could do it with a friend. You can actually do this to where it's really fun, even just doing it by yourself can be really fun. But if you want to print another copy, you can take it and print another copy after you've made all the changes, or it's actually probably the best way to do it. I just hate to say, but another expense on printing, but again, it's a write-off, so you can do it that way. It is best to print another copy after you've gone and made these changes.
Yeah.
So this is the really fun part. Now you get to read it aloud. So you're going to take your entire book and you're going to read it out loud. This is where you see magic. I mean, it is absolutely, it's a magical process. I have had people that I've worked with, and they were just this one little like simple thing that it was like, wow, it was such an eye-opener for them, because here's what happens. And now the reason that I know that this happens is because I spend the majority of my time doing this. You think things in your head, you have this perfect sentence thought out in your head. You can even write it down. But whenever it comes out of your mouth, you sound like a moron. I only know this from experience. And I'm really, really experienced in sounding like a moron. I mean, I'm an expert at sounding like an idiot. Because I'll just be like, oh wow, I have this brilliant revelation. I mean, it's just, oh wow, this is amazing. And I'll be thinking about it and okay, putting it into words and whoa, oh. And then I'll go and say it. And you look at me and you're like, what did you just say? That doesn't even make sense. And then you too, are you okay?
So another thing, if you're reading it out loud in front of a group or with another person, something else, if you want to add another fun twist on there, is have someone else read it out loud to you.
Oh yes,
Like your sister.
Oh yeah, so and of course you want to do this with people that you're really close friends with, or somebody you trust,
they're gonna make fun of you,
and that you can enjoy doing this with. You don't want to do it with somebody that is critical of your work or critical of you as a person or anything like that. We don't want no toxic.
No.
You shouldn't be around toxic people anyway.
Yeah, but you especially don't want to take.
But you especially
or anything.
Yeah, you especially don't want to do this with any toxic people. This is only whenever we say read it out loud to people, this is only with people that you trust and that have a positive vibe, who support you, but at the same time not just blindly support you.
No, you don't want people that are just oh, that's the best thing I ever
right
heard.
And meanwhile it sucks. No, you want people that can be honest with you and be positive at the same time.
Exactly.
So yeah, make sure that those are the people that you should be around anyway. If you have toxic people in your life, you need to either move, get away from them, or end relationships with them. I'm not even gonna get into that, but we'll touch on that another time. But if you have toxic people in your life, you just simply shouldn't be around them, because toxic people are toxic.
Yeah. Toxic is synonymous with poisonous.
Yeah, really. So
deadly,
Yes, and those
so
you don't want
just kill your
poisonous, deadly people in your life, especially if you're going to be doing something as important and valuable as writing a book.
Yeah, or painting a picture, or
painting,
anything artistic,
yes,
creative,
because this is your
expression of the
self-expression. Well, everything that you do is self-expression in some form or another. But specifically, you're creating a piece of something. And you,
And the creative process and everything connected with it should be positive.
it should all be positive, and yes, you only want people to support you, but anyways, I'm getting back to. See, we still went off on a tangent.
No,
Okay.
let's just get used to it, okay, people?
All right, so in this third step, like this would be like a fun time to like, you could have a party, you could get a pizza, or I mean, a vegan pizza, whatever it is you want to do. You could just have fun and no, not pepperoni pizza. Yeah, you could have pepperoni pizza if you want. Anyways, not if you're vegan. Okay, so get whatever, like have some kind of little party or whatever it is that you want to do. And you could have like a couple people and just like get your bestest friends together and or siblings, whichever the case may be, or both.
Yeah, maybe your siblings are your bestest friends.
Yeah. So if you have this, and then you can take turns reading it out loud, and you can, of
And
course.
maybe they want to bring their books too.
Yeah, if
Maybe
they have,
got work
if
to
you have
do,
writer,
right?
if you have writer
Yeah.
friends, and you should. Everybody should have a writer.
Everybody should have a writer friend.
At least one, yeah. So you take this and you read it out loud, and then you go through and you're like, you see things in a different light. Whenever you say them, and whenever it comes out of your mouth, it's a completely different thing than whenever you're just writing it down. And that's mainly my point. And then we ended up skipping over that point that you were making with the editing. Whenever it edits like through your word processor, the things that it doesn't catch.
You'll catch it reading it out loud though.
Well, yes, you'll catch it reading out loud. Things like if you wrote sale, if you spelled sale wrong,
if you set sail on a yard sale, or
yeah,
or if you're having a yard sale and it's not sailing anywhere.
And one of my favorites, like these are things that we have caught in that's something. Okay. Also, do not feel bad if your book is not like completely 100% perfect whenever you do go to publish it. Don't let anybody ever hurt your feelings by saying that there was a mistake here on this page. How many books have we read that were published by companies like HarperCollins?
One of my favorites, HarperCollins. I read a book. It had a wooden stove.
A wooden stove.
I'm sorry, people, but
Have you ever made a fire in a wooden stove?
if
There's not going to be much left.
your whole house is gonna and then you think like this poor wood carver took the time to make this stove, and so I should burn it.
So that's a really popular book. I'm trying to think.
It's a very popular book series, actually.
And one of my favorites, and this is I in no way, like, we're not criticizing the authors here. Well,
No.
it's the editing process, and then they went and they published it with these mistakes still in it. There's one set of books that you can tell what had happened, but so you're reading through this book, and there's this character. His name is Chandler, and it's the story. He's like one of the main characters, and the whole entire story is all about him, and all this stuff goes on, and It's this full-blown novel.
Yeah, I read it too. He's like, Chandler doing this, Chandler doing that. Hey Chandler, how's it going?
And then all of a sudden, randomly on this page, there's this guy pops up named Chalmers.
We're like,
Who's Chalmers? There's no Chalmers anywhere in the entire book. Who the hell is Chalmers?
Chalmers isn't in the first half, he's not in the second half, he's just right there in the middle.
Yes. So what it looks like somebody did is they went through and they changed the name, but it missed one.
Yeah.
It just missed one, and that's all that happened. So if the book was read out loud or by a group of people or something, things like that are gonna get caught.
Yeah.
And your book, if you do these three processes, your book is going to be better than at least 50%, if not 75 or 80% of the books that are published by major publishing companies.
I skipped the last step where you go through and, you pay attention to what's on the pages. And I went and I published a book and it had a telephone on the wall.
Yeah, telephone.
Oh, and a bunch of people were poised.
Poised and instead of poisoned,
Yeah.
they were poised. Now, if they were poised to be poisoned, it would have made sense, but they were just poised and they died.
Yeah, they died from
being poised.
By a telephone.
So anyways, you want to make sure that you go through go through a good process like this. And I do have some notes here that I was gonna kind of I don't think it's really worth it to go through. I mean, if you want to go through, I did in that other video, there's the video that's already up, that's the 3 easy steps to editing your book, and it's a really stupid video. I'm not, claiming to be like really proud of it or anything like that. It is really stupid. I think I ended up doing that one at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. I was
Probably.
so exhausted.
We went out for ice cream and you were still doing the video when we came back. And
Yeah, I was having a lot of trouble with it, and it was.
Then we're just like, just shut it off tonight. Let's have ice
Yeah.
cream.
So that video, you can watch it, and I hope that you get something out of it. It's on our channel here, and but I'm not claiming for it to be like all that great, but there's a lot of information there that I hope you find useful anyway. I don't know. So there's 3 steps to writing, and write on a piece of paper first, or
3 steps for editing.
and writing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm getting tired now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about being tired, and I'm tired.
How do you edit a painting? You don't.
With a hose. Although it was it's watercolor and on canvas.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it is really difficult to paint on canvas with watercolor, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't actually do that. You can't.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can do it. It's just it's very difficult. She does it all the time.
Okay, I just like watercolor on paper. So.
Yes. It just doesn't blend in with with this.
Okay.
It's just different.
So you don't edit paintings?
No, it's best not to.
You mess something up, just keep going over top of it. Pretend it was part of the painting all along.
Yeah, just add, create something new out of it. Yeah, there you go. You can do it that way. All right, so I think that's about all we have for today. This is probably long enough and drawn out enough, so I'm gonna say we're done.
Yeah,
And we will see you again tomorrow. We are trying to do this daily,
at least.
so
Maybe we'll do it twice a day.
eventually we might, or on some days we might, if we come up with something really brilliant.
Yeah, if we have like an epiphany.
Yeah, we
have those sometimes.
We do have them sometimes. Maybe, especially between the bunch of us. So if we have an epiphany, sometimes there will be more than one show per day. Okay, so that's it. Everybody have a great day.